So I have a little bit of a correction to make on a story that I did yesterday. So I spoke about President Trump attacking the Red Hen restaurant in Lexington, Virginia. Now, this came after the owner politely asked Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders to leave. Now, Trump went after them on Twitter, of course, and said the Red Hen restaurant should focus more on cleaning its filthy canopies, doors, and windows, badly needs a paint job, rather than refusing to serve a fine person like Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I always had a rule: if a restaurant is dirty on the outside, it is dirty on the inside. That sounds like a stupid rule, but okay. What does he know, right? Now, yesterday I reported that there were 13 health violations that were found last year at Mar-A-Lago. Turns out I was actually incorrect. Let me give you the real numbers. Reports from Florida health inspectors cited President Trump's Mar-A-Lago resort with a total of 15 health violations in late January. So it turns out I gave them more credit than they deserved. Mar-A-Lago had 15 instead of 13. Oops. Now, among some of the high priority problems described in this as potentially hazardous by health inspectors were faulty fridges with meats stored well above the required 41 degrees Fahrenheit. For example, in the restaurant's walk-in cooler, the duck and beef were measured at 50 degrees, while the ham was at 57 degrees. So that is some hot ham. It is not supposed to be that warm in the refrigerator. Now, other issues included smoked salmon being served without undergoing proper parasite destruction, and a hand-washing sink for employees with water that was not quite hot enough. Now, look, if you work in food service, it's kind of important to wash your hands. It's also kind of important to destroy fucking parasites. Now, Stephen Lawson, a spokesman for the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation, said that these violations were the result of routine inspection and not prompted by any consumer complaints or foodborne illnesses. Well, I mean, thank goodness. You wouldn't want the privileged clientele at Mar-A-Lago, who, by the way, I believe it costs $200,000 to be a member of Mar-A-Lago. And you're getting substandard food, and you're getting food that is not even, that could be riddled with parasites and not even put in the correct cooling. And this isn't like, some, crappy, a single, small business owner in the middle of rural Ohio that is doing health violations. No, this is Mar-A-Lago. You have no excuse. I mean, but it really does show you how cheap the president is. Now, the infractions, however, were corrected on site, and the establishment was brought into compliance, Lawson said on Thursday. However, it's not the first time that they were caught with inspections. Again, with violations through inspections. That was his last year, 15. In the last 3 years, they've been caught with 78 violations. Now, records showed the club had been cited 78 times for violations that included chefs handling food without washing their hands, dirty cutting boards, a slicer soiled with old food debris, and the accumulation of black-green mold-like substance inside the ice machine. Again, this is your fancy Mar-A-Lago club. You realize that they hosted Shinzo Abe of Japan? That is, the Japanese prime minister went to Mar-A-Lago and could have been served with mold water. So this is, to be honest, I think this definitely sums up America 2018. You couldn't get a more accurate description of what's currently facing this country right now. Substandard food, health violations everywhere, and yet with a veneer of incredible cost just to access what is substandard compared to the rest of the world. Insanity. But hey, at least they have some very, very delicious chocolate cake. That's what you get at Mar-A-Lago, man. And to be honest, as cheap as the president is, I'm actually surprised that it's not worse. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.